I'm Alex Gay.
And I'm Will Mungo. Welcome to the Monday Night Roar.
Thanks for tuning in. We have your latest news, entertainment, and sports.
All that and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar. New Jersey State Police found 65 pounds of marijuana in a pickup truck being driven by none other than a reputed mobster. Carlo Takeda is now facing multiple drug offenses following Saturday's arrest. Authorities say an ongoing investigation led troopers to stop the pickup truck, and Takeda granted the troopers permission to search his vehicle. Police say that Takeda is a suspected soldier in the Laches crime family, along with his father, Michael Takeda.
Elephants in Ivory Coast are being forcibly relocated as of late. For once, however, they are being relocated to their homelands. Several years ago, human migration forced the elephants from their forest homes, and they took up residence in the countryside. Conservationists are currently working on returning them to their home by tranquilizing them before driving them back 10 hours to their homeland. Given that the elephants have attacked humans and humans have been poaching the elephants, this movement is beneficial for both humans and elephants alike.
In preparation for the upcoming Winter Olympic Games in Russia, security measures have been heightened in response to concerns of terrorism. This is due to local terrorist groups responsible for 2 suicide bombings that killed 34 people in December. Initially, 270 torchbearers were set to take the Olympic flame through the city. However, following the bombings, many torchbearers decided to drop out, leaving 67 people to carry the flame. Now to Emily with the sports.
Hi everyone, we're glad to have you all back. I have your Clemson sports news. Our Clemson 2014 football schedule was released last week. In case you have not seen it, it's on orangeandwhite.com along with the Clemson Athletic website. Signing day is also coming upon us soon. It will be interesting to see where Sammy and Taj play next. And with Clemson basketball, our men's team played and fell to the Tar Heels at the North Carolina last night, 61-80. After our Tigers had their victory against Duke, we had higher hopes for our game against UNC. Our single aggressive offensive player this game was KJ McDaniels, but UNC's James Michael McAdoo was the player that we could not stop. Coach Dabo Sweeney was able to attend the game with his wife and friends. The Tigers' next game will be this Saturday, February 1st at Florida State at 3 o'clock. Our women's basketball team upset Miami 60-52 last night in Littlejohn Coliseum. Our defense was superb and caused Miami to have their lowest goal percentage of the season. This next game will be against Georgia Tech at 7 in McCamish Pavilion. Our men's tennis team trumped number 10 Mississippi 4-2 yesterday, bringing our season to be 4-1 overall. This is the highest ranked team our Tigers have defeated under Coach McCollum. They have a match this Friday at home against the College of Charleston and Wofford, and they also have another match Sunday versus Winthrop. And congratulations to our women's tennis team that earned the ITA National Indoor Championship title. Our Tigers defeated Tennessee 4-0 yesterday, and our team is currently ranked 13th. Our baseball team began practice this weekend, and this team has been predicted to be placed 3rd in the ACC Atlantic Division. The lead coach, Jack Leggett, will be coaching his 21st season and has voiced excitement for the upcoming season. Well, it's finally here, Super Bowl Sunday, and this weekend, which means one thing: commercials. Well, with some football and entertainment, of course. The halftime show will be performed by Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Bruno Mars will be the youngest performer since the Justin Timberlake debacle in 2004. The Super Bowl will be the Seattle Seahawks against the Denver Broncos. Tune in at 6:30 to see who will win, who will be Super Bowl MVP, and most importantly, what was the best, the greatest, the craziest Super Bowl commercial. Let us know what you think by tweeting at Clemson TV or on Twitter or writing on our Facebook page. Thanks, back to you guys.
Thanks, Emily. A few weeks ago, Clemson honored Dr. John Bellato with the Class of '39 Award for Excellence. Dr. Bellato conducts research primarily on optical fibers and their applications, including high-powered lasers. Working for clients such as the Department of Defense, Dr. Bellato and his group see many specialty optical fiber projects from start to finish, making Clemson a one-stop shop for many companies. Having personally worked under Dr. Bellato, I'm happy to congratulate him on his achievement and say that I am very proud to have been part of such an impactful group.
Chinese lunar rover Jade Rabbit has suffered a critical breakdown, according to state media. Due to the extremely cold lunar nights, which last about 14 Earth days, the rover must perform a sort of hibernation in order to preserve electronics. Mechanical problems may keep the rover from performing this process, damaging it to the point of not functioning. The actual landing of the craft made China the third country to perform a soft landing on the surface of the moon.
According to a recent survey by the Associated Press, at least 30 states are pushing to raise minimum wage. While a minimum wage increase would definitely help keep up with the ever-increasing cost of living, some are aiming too high. In Iowa, for example, they are looking to go from the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour to $10.10 an hour. Such a change would make it very difficult for businesses to retain their employees without having to raise their costs in return. As a current minimum wage employee, I definitely wouldn't mind a pay raise, but I also understand that there would be negatives as well.
Comedian Craig Robinson is coming to Clemson this March. For those of you who don't know, Robinson has starred in movies such as Pineapple Express, Hot Tub Time Machine, and, more recently, This Is the End. Tickets are $20 for students and $25 for guests. They go on sale February 6th at the Hendricks Guest Services. Now here's James with the weather.
Hi guys, let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week. We do have a chance of snow for tomorrow, highs only of 31, lows in the 20s, 70% chance of snow starting around 11 a.m. tomorrow. As we move through the rest of the week, we can see the polar vortex hasn't quite left us yet, with highs in the upper 40s, lower 50s, and Saturday and Sunday we can see higher temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s. We do have a chance of rain for Saturday, though, about a 30% chance, so you might see some rain on Saturday. As you look outside your window right now, it is a chilly 47 degrees with winds out of the northwest at 12 miles an hour, which means there's a wind chill, so it really feels like 42 degrees outside. Taking a look at your radar, we can see there's a storm system moving through southern Georgia up into South Carolina, which is what's going to bring us snow tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. Anyways, quick announcement, the Procrastination Club its meeting has been postponed until tomorrow, and the Fortune Tellers Club, their meeting's been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. That's all I have, and now back to you guys.
Thanks, James. The recent weather pattern coming south from the Arctic is bringing with it plenty of cold air. This will bring record low temperatures to some areas of the Midwest, and the poor denizens of Minnesota could experience wind chill temperatures reaching 43 below zero. As James said earlier, however, the weather here is most likely going to continue its trend of randomness, but at least will stay above zero.
Clemson students have received awards for designing and assisting in the building of a system that provides clean water for Haiti residents. This effort started with Jeff Plumby in 2009. Plumby was at the time a Clemson graduate student when he and 6 other civil engineering students began designing the new system. The system was built in a town called Cange, which wasn't severely affected by the earthquakes near Port-au-Prince, but the population of the town grew immensely as the survivors of the earthquakes migrated there in search of aid. Funds for the students to travel, collect data, and begin design on the water system were gathered from student fundraising, private donations, and allocations from Creative Inquiry and the Glenn Department of Civil Engineering.
If you recall, last year I spoke of an alligator in the O'Hare National Airport in Chicago. After reviewing security footage, Chicago authorities have arrested the woman they believe to be responsible for the young alligator's abandonment. The 29-year-old woman was charged with misdemeanor counts of reckless conduct and animal cruelty.
Despite protests from the United States, Afghanistan is planning to release 37 inmates from its prisons, according to a statement by American forces. The United States transferred control of the prison to Afghan authorities last March after becoming a source of great tension with the government. Around 40% of the men to be released were involved in attacks wounding 57 Afghan citizens. The Afghan officials set up a review board to look at the cases of the inmates in response to the United States concerns. President Hamid Karzai of Afghanistan said that if one of the released inmates went on to carry out attacks, it would only be because he had been wrongly detained by American forces.
An astronomer in London discovered that a star in a nearby galaxy has recently gone supernova. Of course, all these terms are relative because nearby is 11.4 million light years away, which means it has been 11.4 million years since the star exploded, but we are just now seeing it. According to astronomers, before long the supernova will be bright enough to observe with just a pair of binoculars, but even that will pale in comparison to the supernova that is supposed to light up our own galaxy within 50 years. Now let's hear about some entertainment news. Take it away, Jeru.
Thanks guys, I'm Jerusalem Estrada with your entertainment news. In the age of technology, it is getting harder and harder for secrets to stay secret. Quentin Tarantino announced that he is canceling plans for his next film, The Hateful Eight, after someone leaked the script. He is now filing a lawsuit against Gawker Media for disseminating, quote, unauthorized downloadable copies of the leaked, unreleased complete screenplay and expressly refused to remove their directions to and URL links to get the infringing materials, end quote. He is demanding damages of at least $1 million. Speaking of leaks, ABC Family's Pretty Little Liars fans had a whirlwind weekend when not one but two major scripts have been possibly leaked. Season 4 episodes 20 and 24 are the episodes in question. There are some of the final episodes of the season, and if real, contain some major spoilers. These scripts were originally leaked on Reddit and are being circulated by some Pretty Little Liars Tumblr blogs. The ABC Family team has not released any statement confirming or denying whether or not the scripts are real. There have been leaks in the past that have turned out to be false. If you're a PLL fan like I am, read at your own risk. Justin Bieber has had a rough 2014 so far. I think his New Year's resolution included beating the record for the most amount of arrests in a 2-week period. He was most recently charged Thursday with DUI, drag racing, and resisting arrest. To be clear, DUI stands for driving under the influence. Some believers tweeted that DUI stood for drinking under the influence. Twitter seems to be divided on their attitude towards Bieber, with hashtag #FreeBieber and hashtag #We will always support you Bieber trending, while others tweeted hashtag #Deport Bieber. The 19-year-old is a Canadian national and could be deported if he is convicted of a felony. His behavior was extremely reckless and dangerous, but isn't considered a felony. Luckily, no one was injured in the incident. He has been released on a $2,500 bond. Since the last Monday Night Raw in December, Beyoncé released a surprise self-titled visual album with 14 songs and 17 music videos. It sold 1.3 million copies in the first 17 days. If you still don't have it, you can get it on iTunes. Speaking of Beyoncé, she opened last night's Grammy Awards with one of her new tracks, Drunken Love, featuring her husband Jay-Z. Her album was released after the Grammy cutoff date, so it wasn't nominated. Her husband Jay-Z scored 2 wins out of 6 nominations. Daft Punk took home 4 Grammys with Record of the Year and Best Pop Duo Group Performance for their collaboration of Get Lucky with Pharrell Williams. The other 2 were Album of the Year and Best Dance/Electronica Album for Random Access Memories. Lorde was awarded the Grammy for Song of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance for her 2013 hit Royals. The other big winners were Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, who won Best New Artist, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song for Thrift Shop, and Best Rap Album for The Heist. Lastly, Bruno Mars won the Best Pop Vocal Grammy for Unorthodox Jukebox. If you're anything like me, you're obsessed with the movie Frozen. It earned $500 million worldwide in just 6 weeks. This made it Disney's highest-grossing film ever since The Lion King, who made $422 million over 26 weeks in 1994. The soundtrack is also doing extremely well. It went number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart, bumping Beyoncé's album to number 2. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. If you've already seen it, kidnap your friends and see it again. That's it for entertainment news. Don't forget to let it go, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Jeru. Shaun White may have his work cut out for him in Sochi this year, as Swiss snowboarder Yuri Podlachikov, also known as iPod, has bested his gold medal winner in Vancouver. Podlachikov's YOLO flip has a half a twist more than White's double McTwist, which may not seem like a lot until you consider the fact that the trick consists of 4 full twists and 2 flips. Much excitement is brewing as the games draw nearer, but we will all just have to wait and see.
Eric Lawson, an actor portraying the Marlboro Man in cigarette ads, has passed away at the age of 72. Lawson's wife says that her husband died January 10th at his home in California. The cause was respiratory failure due to COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Lawson, a smoker since age 14, appeared in many Marlboro ads in the early 80s. Later, he appeared in an anti-smoking commercial that parodied the Marlboro Man and also appeared in an Entertainment Tonight segment discussing the negative effects of smoking.
Clemson's own supercomputer, the Palmetto cluster, has moved up in the rankings to number 81 worldwide. The Palmetto is used primarily by university staff and students and is ranked in the top 5 in that category. Capable of conducting nearly 400 trillion operations per second, after about 50,000 times more than the average computer. The Palmetto does Clemson proud. The IT staff that maintains the supercomputer excels at keeping it up to date with the latest high-performance computing hardware to keep the Palmetto growing.
In New Hampshire, a man proposed to his girlfriend by arranging to get arrested. Matt Van Vliet was on his way with his now fiancée Samantha Labo were on their way to dinner when the couple were pulled over by the police. The officers claimed that there was a warrant for Vliet's arrest and proceeded to handcuff him. During the process, the officer did a pat-down and found a ring box. The YouTube video of the event shows Vlight taking the ring from the officer, getting down on one knee, and asking Labo to marry him. The arrest was, of course, fake, but successful in that Labo agreed to marry Vlight. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Clemson.
Be sure to like our Clemson TV Facebook page and follow us on Twitter.
Have a great week, and stay classy, Clemson.